Welcome back. Now, if you watched my last video on how to make a fried egg, we're going to carry right on into how to make an over easy egg. First things first, you want to grab your pan. Then you want to turn the heat on. Put it on about a medium heat. Let the pan heat up. Then you want to grab some butter, grease the pan, make it all nice and good. Now, since we did just cook an egg in the last video, we still have a little bit of butter in our pan left that we can use for our next egg, which is an over easy egg. Then, while the pan is heating back up because it was cooled down after we were finished with the other egg, we're going to grab our eggs. Grab your carton of eggs, set them aside. Do a little heat test with your hand. You can see how hot it is. Obviously, you don't want to touch the pan because that is dangerous and unsafe. But once the pan gets to like a nice level where you can hold your hand right here and you can feel the heat coming off of it, you're going to turn it down to about 3 or 4. And over easy is just as easy as the fried egg, if not easier. You just got to be a little more gentle. So we're going to go ahead and grab our large egg. As we did in the last video, we're going to crack it on a flat surface. Just one time, make sure there's a nice little hole there. And then we're going to open it over our pan. Oops. So, this may happen to you. You may crack the yolk in your pan. Now when that happens, you have a faulty egg. So what you can do here, since our egg's already cooking, we can just make another fried egg. Or we can try to do a little scramble action real quick. But we'll just stick with this and make another fried egg. So since we still have room in our pan, I can use another egg to make our over easy. I'm going to be very gentle about it this time. Crack it at a lower level. Hopefully it doesn't break the yolk. And there we go. Make sure you wash up every time after touching the eggs, that way you don't get yolk everywhere, because you could have salmonella from the yolk. We're going to put our eggs away while they're cooking. We're going to make sure it's at a nice temperature, they're not cooking too fast. Maybe turn it down if they are. And we're going to sit here and enjoy it. So our eggs have been cooking for about a minute or so, and I'll show you. So as you can see, the eggs are still a little bit runny on the top, so that's when you don't want to flip them. One thing you can do is, you see how they're connected here? We can take our spatula and we can cut them up a little, that way it'll give us an easier time when we're trying to flip these eggs. Alright, and we're just going to wait about another minute or so for these eggs to dry up on the top, and then we can flip them. Alright, and now that our eggs have dried up a little bit on the top, you're ready to flip them. So just like in the last video with the fried egg, the accidental fried egg in this one, you just want to get underneath of it, and you want to flip it. And then sometimes your flip might be a little off, so you might have to readjust with your spatula. That way you have room for your other egg. And then here's where it's going to be very hard for the over easy. You want to be very gentle, make sure you get around all the sides, get underneath of it, and you want to be very careful of the yolk. So then you're flipping it, and the yolk's going to go right over top. You want to make sure you're very careful so you don't break it. Put it back on the heat, and now we let this side cook. Alright, and the last thing you should know about over easy eggs is they don't take that long to cook once you flip them over to the other side. So you can go ahead and take your spatula, give it a nice little look, make sure it's at least dried a little bit on the bottom side, not runny or anything. You can flip over your fried egg that we accidentally made, and you can go ahead and plate that. And then we can go ahead And be very gentle with our over easy. Get right underneath of it. We're gonna go ahead and plate that egg as well. Make sure you turn your heat off. And here, we'll show you what our over easy egg looks like. Looks like a nice coated egg. You take your fork and it'll squirt out some yolk because that's over easy and it's nice and runny.